Hello and welcome to Killer Off-Road Hobbies. Thanks for joining us for this first look video of the new Arrma Nero Big Rock. It is the latest version in the Nero line of trucks from Arrma. It is a 8 scale, brushless, twin vertical plate chassis monster truck. Now you can get this truck for about $700, ready to run with diff brains. Now this truck rides on a cantilever suspension, pillow balls front and rear, and has a 2000 kV motor. And one of the differences is this body shell from the old Nero. Shell is pretty thick Lexan plastic and seems pretty durable, and also comes with these rubber attached body clips. Now you'll notice a few differences of the design, and here is the 200 amp ESC running TX90 connectors. Now this is the cantilever suspension. It's got all steel drive shafts, front and rear, and if you look closely, you can see that the bumpers are a slightly different design, as well as the shock towers. Now underneath you'll find just basically skid plates. These are 100% sacrificial parts, and it actually comes with an extra set of skid plates, which is very nice. Here you'll see their unique style of battery tray. Hopefully it's been upgraded from the first run of Neros, because upon heavy impact they tend to open, but we will have to see in our bash sessions to come. Now let's get into the first look.
Hey guys, Killer Off-Road Hobbies here with a first look at the Arrma Nero 1/8 scale brushless monster truck. And let me tell you, this thing is huge. So there's a few differences between this and the first series of Neros, one of which being the body, but we'll get into the differences later. Now this thing comes retail right now at Arrma Hobbies. You can get this for $700 with the diff brains, plus shipping. And I will put a link to Arrma Hobbies in the description below. But let's focus on the truck instead of how much it costs and all that stuff. So this thing is huge, really huge, and the suspension feels so much better than the first gen of the Arrma vehicles. Because I haven't ran the newer Creighton, the V2. I have the old Creighton. And as you guys have seen, if you follow my channel, it rode real low. Suspension was just way too soft. This, I think they have worked it out for this style of vehicle. But this does run on a cantilever suspension instead of just having shocks attached to the A-arms. It does run push rods with lay-down shocks, and it's pretty cool. So let's take a second from the truck and we'll focus on the remote. So this comes with a tactical remote. You have reverse switches. You also have steering dual rate and throttle trim and steering trim and a third channel. And the cool thing with this is that it does have the diff brain. So you get this switch right here to lock and unlock the front, center, and rear diffs, or lock them all, unlock them all. And we'll get into that in a second. I really like the feel of this remote. It doesn't have a drop down wheel, but just how it feels in the hand, it only takes 4 AA batteries. So far, so good. I really like this remote. Now, as far as the goodie bag this thing comes with, I would have to say out of all the RCs I've bought brand new, this thing has came with the most stuff. So we'll crack this open. It runs the TX90 connectors and they give you connectors to put on your batteries. That's pretty cool. Also give you a couple little screws here. You get some body posts and some shock pistons and other random hardware. I think I see you get a servo arm, it's plastic. You get a bunch of cool stuff in here, mainly body posts. You get a high-speed 17-tooth pinion gear for speed runs. You get a little bag of tools. Got a wheel wrench, a huge Allen key, and then your standard smaller Allen keys. Awesome stuff. And now for the really cool stuff. Skid plate. Skid plate. Skid plate. They give you an extra set of skid plates with this truck. I think that is amazing. Kudos to Arrma for doing that. That is insanely cool. And then, of course, I'm not going to pull this out of the bag, but you do get your insanely thick Arrma, owner's manual. These have always been good. I'm sure it's got all the blow up of the truck, so all the part numbers, everything. Arrma does not skimp when it comes to their owner manual. They are on the ball with their owner's manuals. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So that is pretty freaking awesome in itself. And then it gives you a blow up here of the truck and tells you all the diff options you have. You have blast, wheelie, drift, and climb. Basically, blast is all unlocked. Wheelie is center diff lock. Drift is center and rear diff locked. And then climb is all three diff locked. So that's pretty cool. And then it gives you pinions over here and part numbers. Okay, so as I said, it does run on a cantilever suspension. It's got the new shell, the Big Rock shell, which from what I can see is nice. It's real nice and thick. It's got these like rub stickers, I guess, for the inside. It also comes with the body pins attached with these little rubber attachments. Very cool, very solid, very thick. This thing's going to take a beating. So to break from the norm chassis, this chassis is actually slightly different. I mean, it's not drastically different, but if you've seen the Nero or whatever, I haven't seen the original Nero like in person like this, but from the pictures I see online, their shock towers are a little bit different. Their center tower, it's a little bit different, but the rest is basically the same. It's a twin vertical plate chassis, cantilever suspension, lay down shocks. It's got all metal drive shafts that seem to be pretty beefy. You can adjust toe on the front, and of course camber, because it's all pillow ball suspension on the whole truck. Now it does run a 2000 kV motor with a 200 amp ESC, and I think their standard Arrma servo, I can't see it, it's buried in there, but their servo's been good to me. I mean, I ran it on my Creighton for a long time. The shocks do have different adjustment points, so you can adjust like in and out for the shock, as well as they are threaded body, and of course they're big bore. I'll give you kind of a look at it. Now, one of the differences on this is the bumpers. The bumpers are more of an actual truck style bumper than the bumpers on the other Nero, but it still has the fold down battery trays, which I'm really hoping they address the problem with them popping open. And it comes with, the foam inside. But I really hope they adjusted the problem that Aussie RC Playground, Vez, found, when you jump this thing really high and the battery hits down, it will actually open these, and I really hope they adjusted and made improvements for that, because that seems like it could be an actual problem for this truck, especially with what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to definitely be taking this thing off huge jumps. So hopefully they address that problem. If not, they'll get a smudge mark on my review. But, you know, as far as this truck, it looks solid. It weighs a lot. It weighs a ton. And this does have different tires and wheels than the original Nero too. These are more of a aggressive terrain or aggressive tire for, I would say, you know, different types of terrains, kind of like an all-terrain tread. There's more, like the tread's deeper on these, and I do feel they're relatively soft, but at the same time they're about a medium feel, so they're gonna last a while, but we'll have to see how they do on the loose terrain that I run them on. And then, of course, as you saw, the skid plates, front, center, and rear, are basically just that. They're just skid plates. They're sacrificial parts, and that's why they gave us additional skid plates, because we'll have to, you know, they're going to get jacked up and we'll replace them. No big deal. Now the A-arms look relatively beefy. I would have liked to see a little bit thicker on the front. The front's not quite as thick as the rear. The rears are really thick. But I would have liked to see, I don't know. I trust Arrma. The Creighton's been amazing. So, I mean, we'll have to see how it does. I don't think I'll have a problem, but they definitely, for how heavy this thing is, they don't look that thick. Outside of that, I think this truck is going to be awesome, but I am actually kind of bummed that I got this thing, because they just came out with the Outcast. I would have liked to pre-order the Outcast and get that, because I am such a huge fan of the Creighton. The Outcast came, basically, it's a Tython and a Creighton smashed together. It's running the Creighton A-arms and all of that stuff, and then it's got the Tython shorter chassis, and it's supposed to be a stunt truck, so it's made to just strictly bash. Where this thing, bigger, heavier, you know, locking diffs and all that stuff, it's going to be more of a trail basher type thing, I think, than more of the bashing I do with the big jumps and all of that. But we'll see. I mean, this thing looks solid. It really does, and I am happy with it. And we will have to get this thing out and bash the bejesus out of it. So, this is Killer Off-Road Hobbies. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. You know, let me know what you guys are liking. And I look forward to taking this thing out, beating it up, and seeing what you guys think of those videos. Killer Off-Road Hobbies, as always. Peace.